You have entered the Chronic's rabbit hole. And Dan, thank you so much for bringing back Eschalon Down the Rabbit Hole. This is their new single that came out just 2 weeks ago called Shallow. And this is featuring Haydn Connolly.
Thank you so much, Dan, for bringing Eschalon back down the rabbit hole. I can't wait to get into their new single.
Dan, thank you so much for bringing Eschalon back down the rabbit hole. We loved the first time we checked them out. We'll throw that one up so everyone can see it for the first time as well. This is Shallow, and you gave us a little write-up to understand what we're about to delve into. Here it is, everyone. So this is the technical metalcore upstarts Eschalon, and they are delving into the childhood trauma with their new single, Shallow. Childhood trauma's tough.
Yeah.
All right, so after selling out their debut show in the UK, following the viral success of their debut hit Helios, which racked up over 120,000 YouTube views and 45,000 Spotify streams worldwide in its first month, Eschalon is gearing up to blow your mind once again with their latest music video. Shallow isn't just pushing boundaries, it's smashing them to bits. This visually captivating music video takes a dark approach surrounding the topic of trauma and lived experiences on the behalf of their vocalist, Brad Mackison. This is from Mackison. As a child, I endured an onslaught of physical, mental, and emotional torment inflicted by a bully. Paralyzed by fear, I bore the weight of my anguish and silence, trapped in a cycle of isolation and despair. Sorry to hear. Even those closest to me remained unaware of the depths of my suffering as I struggled to reconcile the betrayal of a friend turned tormentor. The most harrowing chapter of my story unfolded one day at a local playground where my innocence was smothered and my childhood dreams turned to nightmares. At the age of 10, I found myself face to face with my own mortality as I was coerced into digging my own grave, only to be buried alive by my tormentor.
Damn.
Wow, Brad. Thankfully, there was a passerby who intervened, pulling me from the clutches of death and sparing me my early grave. Wow, that's terrifyingly courageous that someone stopped and helped you. Wow. Okay. Founded in Cambridge by Simon and Garrett and Miles Taylor, Eschalon has been a behind-the-scenes project for many years. Throughout lockdown, the band finished writing multiple bodies of work before recruiting the right members for the job, which eventually saw the culmination of, as we know, as Eschalon today. Featuring the incredible vocals of Haydn Connolly, you might know him from his work with In Fear and Amber Palace, Shallow dives deep into a darker, raw side of Eschalon's distinctly brutality sound, keeping listeners hooked at every twist and turn.
Oh my god. I can't wait to get into Shallow and to see how this is going to be put forward, especially with that amazing quote from I forgot his name there. Brad.
Yeah.
Like
Brad Mackison.
Brad Mackison. Oh my god, like that is absolutely terrifying to have to not only go through that, but then to also share that and to be able to make it into a healing music. I would hope that does have some healing for Brad, for you to get on with this. Like that is petrifying.
Wow. Very excited to see how this all comes out. Hope you all are too, everyone. Here it is.
Chronicans, you know the drill. Whenever we have a new band come down the rabbit hole, head over to their channel. So go over to Eschalon, give them some love, because you know this is going to be a banger. One thing before we get into this video, we actually were just having a conversation about like hooliganism and bullies and everything with our oldest son.
13.
He's 13, and how we were talking about how like going through a lot of these UK bands like with Ren and Eschalon and stuff like that. These UK hooligans are on a whole nother level than what we have out here in Canada.
I agree.
Like the people get upset when it's like, you know, just some poking and prodding or like taking a kid's headphones in school. That's like the bullying that we have out here. Yeah. And like,
not burying alive.
Someone stole my son's headphones. Nobody tried to bury my kid alive. Like that is a whole different level of what's happening. So like to go through this kind of literal torture and torment and have to come to face with your own mortality at 10 is absolutely beyond anything that we could imagine out here with what's going on in our kids. Like, it is safe out here in comparison.
Just incredible story, Brad,
Yeah.
and I'm so glad that you're still here. That is a shallow moment,
Absolutely.
and we're very excited to see the music and art that you want us to experience
Absolutely.
with this moment. All right. I need to know what you're thinking.
Oh my God. So I've been really listening to the lyrics because I love the singer and I love his song. And it's like, I never deserved to go through this, and you left me for dead, buried there. He's like, so in the last 20 years, I've been wishing I were dead. With the voices in my head constantly telling me.
How do you feel good enough
right?
after
So
like that?
That is so like demoralizing to go through that and to honestly have to question.
It's like what the mafia does to their people when they've literally snitched on their own group. Like,
yeah,
this kid's just a friend.
It's like a 10-year-old friend doing mafia level torment. Oh my God.
I'm glad that I'm having a hard time keeping up because this music's so incredible and the visuals are so jarring. So I'm so thankful that you're picking these lyrics up better than I have so far.
I love the the singer is walking through the forest completely no armor, just as he is.
Yep.
And then there's this monster, the Tormentor.
Oh my God, yeah, the Tormentor. Yeah, well said.
Oh my God.
Here we go. That write-up sure adds a lot to this. Oh my gosh. That betrayal.
Yes.
That's a whole different level. You like look up to your friends so much at that time. That's actually what like at that time at that age that is the biggest betrayal.
That's the absolute
Like
biggest betrayal because at
that's who
around
influences you the most.
and at around 10 years old is like naturally when kids are first starting to learn that not everyone is their friend.
Yeah, yeah.
Because a lot of the times, but 10 and younger on a developmental level, you don't really have that differentiation between friend and foe. You don't really have that differentiation between teasing and bullying and the fine line that kind of happens between that.
Yeah, not always, at least.
So, and not always at least, but then when you go through something like this and that betrayal becomes so ingrained, it becomes almost hard to trust, and it will break that developmental trust that you get for real friends.
Yeah.
At that point.
Oh
So
my
this,
God.
like that lyric, 20 years of shame, like that demoralizing shame that you're going to feel, that trust that has been broken from early childhood, that will continue through, and you can hear that in the lyrics, in the vocals of this.
I'm glad that he's singing clean for that part too.
I'm so glad he's singing clean for that part, because it really does also embody the bits of anger and then the distrust on yourself even that you're going through with that, because you're able to kind of speak clearly about this because there is that sadness, but then there's that anger and that vengeance that's coming through as well with that growl. I really liked how eventually Haydn, I believe,
the guest singer,
went up and like kneed the tormentor right between the legs, like held him there, right? And it was that moment where another friend that was the bystander that intervened. That's kind of how I took that, is that one person
that way too.
That was like, no, this can't be happening. And like, so that was so cool to see that moment where someone is willing to stand up and defend, because we all need that hero who's going to be willing to put themselves in a difficult situation.
You need the hero, y'all.
Exactly.
You really do, like, because a moment like that, there's so many people that wouldn't do something like that. And me, as someone, I love my case files and all that thing, so like it's so hard for me to not want to know what happened, where like what happened to that kid who bullied and actually buried you alive. What happens to someone at that age? Are you allowed to get away with that and nothing happens?
Is this bystander
still friends with the person now because you saved his life? Like, those are things that I'm also thinking about. Because this
bystander intervened, now was the family who was so like oblivious to this torment that this child has been going through. Are they now going to be forced into the reality and the awareness of what is happening? And it really makes me like want to know what's happening with the rest of the story that has
that's
unfolded.
But on the music side too, it was incredible, and I love like the metalcore style of this. And one of the guys had the Gojira shirt on too, and that's kind of what it was feeling like too, and that's like a huge praise, and it's nice to see the influence there. And they kind of showed all their sides. This is one of their perfect music videos. If you ever want to check out Eschalon, I think Shallow, this is the music video to check out. Really.
Absolutely. And Helios, I believe that was the first one we checked out. That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And like they're very genty. That is another style of their music that kind of gets you moving in such a way that you don't normally move with like a metalcore style, because it has that more energy that is a part of it. This is honestly such an amazing band, and I'm so excited that we've now come back to them twice.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you so much, Dan, because they have so much to offer. And now that we're hearing more of the story of even individual band members, especially something so powerful,
so meaningful,
like, thank you so much for writing a song like this, because that takes a lot of
who's gone through that and survived.
The amount of healing that you must have had to go through to be able to
address
this and be able to speak about it, and then to be able to speak about it in this way with this style of music. Really, I love that you've been able to embody that, because it is beautifully fascinating.
Beautifully fascinating indeed. We're happy that you made it. This was an incredible piece of art. Hopefully all the Chronicans did as well. Please go to Eschalon's page if you had a good time with us though, and if you want to see more of Eschalon come down the rabbit hole, just hit the like button so we know you want to see more. We are now exiting the rabbit hole, folks.
Thank you everyone for being here with us, and thank you so much, Dan, once again for bringing Eschalon back down the rabbit hole. This is such a phenomenal band, and I can't wait to see where their journey continues to take them. Peace and love, everyone. everyone.
God bless y'all.
Take care, and bye for now.
Special thanks to all of our YouTube, Patreon, and Buy Me a Coffee members. Thank you for all of your support.